So this is 2006 to 2007. So 23 to 24 years old, whatnot. Um, um, the guy from last year, Marcus, whatever. I want to say his roommate, 'cause he was staying at the Kappa House or whatever. Um, End up moving out or moving back to some country town, small town, whatever you want to call it. And so the Marquise had to end up moving out, and he just asked me, like, you have an extra bedroom. I could go half with you on the rent because I was paying the whole thing by myself because of course Dennis never came. And I didn't mind paying it by myself. But he needed a place to stay. Cool guy, play video games with or whatnot. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I let him move us out the second bedroom. Um, Marcus and I was still going to McNeese. We was both going to McNeese at this time. And he had a girlfriend named Nicole, and none of that led well. Because Nicole and I end up talking and whatnot. And, and sure, I'm not going into detail, but Marcus ended up having to move out because Nicole and I was dating. It just wasn't a good triangle there. But he was a good friend. I mean, while the times lasted or whatnot. Very cool cat to be around, and I wish that didn't come in between us. It was my fault, 100%, but it's how life rolls. I remember like Nicole, like shortly after her and I started talking, she tattooed my name on her, and I was like, okay. Um, we clicked very well though. I ended up tattooing her name on my back, like I want to say like a year later, like 6 months or 7 months later. I ended up covering it with a black sun, black old sun. Um, but yeah. Anyway, um, I just know her and I don't want to get too much into her business or whatnot, but her and I we love to like watch movies together. Almost every week, if we found like a good movie at the theater, we would go together to the theater. She know to mix the perfect popcorn and butter. Um, yeah, and it's not like a safe for this video because about her and I just enjoyed the time, whatever. Um, but yeah, end up moving out of the two-bedroom apartment into a one-bedroom apartment. So there was no point in having that second room there for no reason. Um, I never told my mother this, so you get to learn now. She learns. Everyone else knew, but her, because I never want to disappoint her. I'm sorry, mom, a lot. Nicole had scared me with a pregnancy, and so she told me she was just joking, like a week later, whatnot. She wasn't pregnant at all, and but I got scared. So like, I immediately Googled like the nearest urologist, and seeing like the different pictures of the urologist, and I picked the Indian one, Dr. Sadiq, because I felt like he would do like the best job or whatnot. And so I made an appointment for my vasectomy, and I went in, and he was like, "You're not a good candidate for getting a vasectomy," and because I was still only 23, 24 at this time, and still too young. I had no kids, never been married, just a horrible candidate. And he wants to make sure that this is what I really wanted, like before the procedure, before he actually did the procedure. So the first consult session, I didn't care pretty much anything he said. I was fixed on having a vasectomy, and yeah, I was still 100% during this, 100% sure who wants to do this procedure. Second one, he says, I'm inside my 30s, and I never wanted kids inside of my 20s. And now that I have kids, I love my kids, and I would have regretted so badly if I would have got a vasectomy inside of my 20s. And I was sold. I was like, okay, that does make sense. And so um, I was like, okay, I might not go through with this, you know. I was sold, you know, and went through my head and he got to me and whatnot. And the next thing I received like a bill for like $550. He was charging me like $275 for each counseling session, and I hate wasting money. And he was like, I'll give you a third counseling session for free. You know, he still wanted me to go against it. I wasn't hearing anything he said inside the counseling session at all. So I said I wasn't gonna spend that much money, $550 for nothing. So I went on and spent the extra. I think it was like $1,700 for the for the vasectomy procedure. And yeah, I remember it was the first time in my life I ever took PTO off of work because I worked every single day and I didn't even know the whole procedure. But I had to take that week off because I had a week of recovering and whatnot. And Nicole hated the idea of me getting a vasectomy, but I was stubborn, and yeah, I still went through with it. It was my first surgery ever, and I remember they were like count backwards to, because they put me on anesthesia. I was like count backwards to 10. I made it to like 8, and I was out. And then when I woke up, I was looking left and right. I seen the nurses. I was like, okay, y'all. I didn't even know time passed by. You know, it was like 2 hours later. I was like, I'm still watching y'all. And they was like, the procedure's done, dude. And so, yeah, Nicole drove me home. Uh, Even though she hated the idea because she wanted to have kids or whatnot. And she was blessed with, like, kids now. Um, we played Resident Evil 4, like, almost every single day. I remember having to put peas, like little frozen peas, in that location so I could stop the swelling and whatnot. And yeah, I had to go do a sperm count, and it was a 0. And that's why I never had kids, Mom. But yeah, uh, that was pretty much the end of that year. It's pretty quick.